declare this meeting of the Conshohocken Borough Council duly open and ready to conduct any business that may come before it. Roll call.
Note for the record that Councilmember Totino is absent. Councilmember Griffin?
Here.
Councilmember Flanagan?
Here.
Councilmember Barton?
Here.
Councilmember Stokely?
Here.
Vice President Sokolowski?
Here.
President Leonard?
Here.
Mayor Aronson?
Here.
Thank you.
Prayer for council.
Please rise. O divine Master, in deep humility, we place ourselves, our thoughts, and our plans in thy hands. We beg thee to fill our minds and our wills with the gifts of wisdom, understanding, counsel, fortitude, knowledge, and piety. Help us not think of self or personal desires, but rather consider the responsibilities laid upon us. Help us to promote as far as possible the welfare of our people and to treat them with impartiality and justice. Grant us the power to set good example in thought, word, and deed, so that thy blessings will be showered upon us and the people that we represent. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council did have an executive session prior to the meeting on a matter of labor relations. The first item on the agenda is presentations on land use matters, public hearing, and ordinances. First is approve and adopt the December 4th special meeting minutes, the January 6th reorganization meeting minutes, the January 15th regular meeting minutes. So I would need a motion for that.
I'll make that motion to approve.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. The next item is a motion to approve the January ending treasurer's report and accounts payable. We'll need a motion to approve the January ending treasurer's report and accounts payable in the amount of $484,019.75.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Under new business, the first item is to consider approving the St. Patrick's Day Country Classic 5K. So if anyone is inclined to make that motion,
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is consider approving Resolution 2020-03, authorizing the submission of the Monco 2040 Implementation Grant.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
And just to clarify for the record, that grant will be submitted for the National Fitness Campaign
Yes.
court, which would potentially go down at Haynes and Salvati. So again, we're in assessment mode at this point, but we would like to submit for the grant application. So thank you.
It's a great idea, great plan. Under unfinished business, the next item is consider granting a waiver of off-street parking for 108.5 Fayette Street. Before we make this motion, I will say that this is this is what it is, sorry. Grant a waiver of off-street parking for 108.5 Fayette Street.
And this is
Sorry.
for the candy shop, right?
Right,
Yes.
so they were here at the work session. This is for the candy shop,
Yes.
which was currently the Style of Man, which they are moving across the street. The applicant was here, presented, provided all the information. You had a week to think about it, so, okay.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Consider authorizing advertisement for an RFP for Sutcliffe Park basketball courts.
So just for the record, again, what you are doing this evening is authorizing advertisement of the RFP. This is a capital budget item. It is in the 2020 budget. If approved this evening, the advertisement would go out on Monday, February 26th, and it will be back in front of you for authorization to award a bid if we receive a bid within the range of what was approved in the budget.
So I need a motion to authorize advertisement for an RFP for the Sutcliffe Park basketball court project.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. The next item is consider approving Resolution 2020-04, resolving to collaborate with the National Fitness Campaign to implement an outdoor fitness court.
And
Go ahead, Steph.
the only thing that changed from 2 weeks ago was that the resolution was altered slightly to take out any implication that the borough was bound to the dollar amount, which would be the $100,000 range, which is also what we're submitting to Monco 2040. So it makes it a resolution in support of the initiative, but it does not bind you to that amount of money,
Okay,
So,
because you still have to go through your budget process
right,
right,
for next year.
right, 2021.
for 2021.
Right.
Correct.
So we need a motion to approve Resolution 2020-04, resolving to collaborate with the National Fitness Campaign to implement an outdoor fitness court.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. The next item is consider authorizing advertisement of ordinance 01-2020, designated certain parking spaces and/or parking areas as 2-hour parking during certain hours on Maple Street.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. So.
And I will make sure that we pass on, so the parking task force meets again next Wednesday evening. So I will make sure I pass along that council was supportive of their request and initiative based off of the information and the study that was done by our traffic engineer, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you to the parking task force, the community members and the businesses that were part of that to make that recommendation.
Yes.
It's a small step, but it is something that at least can help in the short term.
And it's gained the attention, so now we also have the Temple grad program, so we can look at it borough-wide.
That's wonderful.
And also for the public, what council is authorizing this evening is only advertisement.
Correct.
So per borough code, we have to advertise an ordinance first. It will be back on an agenda for consideration once the advertisement has occurred. We will be sending out notices to the residents in that area per council's request as well, in conjunction with the authorization in the paper and the website, et cetera.
Great. And as for clarification for our residents so they understand, when council does their meetings, it is the work session that is the important meeting for residents to attend. If you see something on the agenda and you have concerns or questions or interests, it's the work session where we do all the planning, all the discussion, where we have already done a lot of our research ahead of time and we sit here and hash it out. By the time it gets to the voting, we've already done that. So when residents are concerned or they're interested, please don't wait till the voting meeting. If you want to know something, if you're curious about something, it's the work session that you should come and be involved in. Thank you. Okay, that's it. Okay, public comment? Anyone? You can come up.
Public comment, are you at the last, is that J? Are you at J right now?
We're done. We went through it all. Yes.
Public comment.
Fantastic, yes, I'd like to make a public comment.
Sure. Can you come up? State your name and address for the record.
My name is Jan Vaca. I live at 146 West 8th Avenue in Conshohocken. And as everybody here is aware, I was not reappointed to the Zoning Hearing Board, and I would like this opportunity to make a public comment. Would that be acceptable?
Yeah.
Fantastic. My name is Jan Vaca, and I was formerly on the Conshohocken Zoning Hearing Board. I was on the board for approximately 10 years because I love Conshohocken and wanted to be involved in shaping the best town possible. I was informally told many times that I was an asset to the board, that I provided insightful questions that helped the board assess the variances requested. I consistently reviewed the variances based on zoning and the intent of the zoning code. I never voted a certain way because others did, or if I was expected to. Transparency and honesty have always been very important to me. I was recently not reappointed for service on the Zoning Hearing Board. Although I do not know why yet, my personal opinion is that I was impeding the efforts of Pineville Provco to develop the Wawa at the E.F. Moore site. By not reappointing myself and Russ Cardamone, the votes were in place to get Wawa approved. I was told that the borough was spending a considerable amount in legal fees and could not afford to continue. I was told that it was important financially for Conshohocken to be done with the Wawa case. The financial muscle of Wawa had won. But did Conshohocken? Don't get me wrong. I love Wawa and go visit Wawa almost every week. So I wanted to repeat that for everybody that has questioned any biases that I have. I love Wawa and visit Wawa almost every week. However, the location on Fayette Street remains wrong for the neighborhood and wrong for Conshohocken. In my mind's eye, this decision is turning Fayette Street into the junky retail strip mall of Conshohocken. Next up is whatever plastic-coated retail and schlock gas station they can throw up for a buck. As council, I understand you need to pick and choose your battles. However, every decision you make has long-term effects on the borough. On November 15th, 2017, I publicly voiced my opposition to the Wawa development. This was done after the council vote, so legally there was no case in front of any Conshohocken government entity at the time. I was told that this was acceptable to do. I stated and continue to state that this is about the money and not about what is best for Conshohocken. Again, all of my votes against this development were based on what was best for Conshohocken. I did not let my love of Wawa affect my decision. I continue to stand behind all the votes I have made against this development. It remains confusing to me that from 2010 to 2017, Planning, Council, Zoning, Montgomery County Planning all voted against Wawa or chose to dissent against Wawa. So that decision was made on zoning, comprehensive plan, revitalization committee, multiple public meetings. I believe Conshohocken has sold out due to this financial pressure, and now I'm out too. Let's all hope this is in the best interest of the borough, but I think not. It is clearly in the best interest of Wawa and Pineville Provco. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Anyone else for public comment? Good evening. Can you state your name?
My name is Sonia Patrick. I don't live in the borough. I am the 2020 census recruiter for Conshohocken, and I just wanted to make an announcement that we are still seeking applicants, local residents, to work the 2020 census. If there are any residents here this evening who might be interested in applying, I can certainly get you registered for our applicant portal. The enumerator position, which is the primary job that we have still available, is what is more popularly known as a census taker. For Montgomery County, the pay for that is $27 an hour plus mileage. The work is very flexible. Most of it will take place in the spring and early summer. So we encourage anyone who's interested to apply, and we also encourage the council members to continue to support us in our efforts. Thank you.
I have a question.
Sure.
How long does it normally take to get an answer once you apply?
Well, that process is, you've probably heard that a lot. That process,
No, I applied.
That
Still
process is definitely speeding up now
Okay.
because we are starting training sessions in March
Okay.
through April. And we're, when we need to staff a training, we literally call hundreds of people per week for those. So it's moving a lot more rapidly now. I know that we had many people who applied in the fall and didn't hear anything for months, and now we're beginning to make a lot more calls because we're kind of gearing up towards the big operation in April, May, June, and so forth.
And where are you located?
I'm sorry?
Where are you located?
I'm sorry, I don't know. What do you mean?
Where is your office?
Oh, well, our office is in Norristown, but this is a field position. So enumerators work from their home as home base and go out into the field to conduct the work. The area census office is in Norristown, and although we do have we did have positions available there for our office clerks and office supervisors and some of the managerial staff. Most of those positions have already been filled because we have to bring those people on so that they can gear up and, to train others.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else for public comment? No. Mayor Aronson?
So one of our residents is running a children's book drive through the end of next week. He's looking for nursery, kindergarten, and first grade books. We already have collection bins up at the Conshohocken Community Center and at brunch. And you can contact me if you need any information. And thank you to everyone that's already donated. So that'll be up for another week or so.
Is this to purchase new books for this? Or
It could be new or used. Yep. It just has to be that designated age group. And then one of the concerns that I hear about every so often is identity theft. So I'm helping to run a Protect Your Identity event next Wednesday. That's going to be February 26th at Leland Mansion. It's going to be free for residents, and we'll feature our very own Detective Walter. It's really just very common sense information on what you can do to protect your identity and personal items, and a question and answer session and that kind of thing. And there is free food as well. We do ask that you RSVP because there is somewhat limited space, and you can find more information on my social media and the Borough social media. And that's it.
Thank you. Bob?
Yes. I have a couple of things on Sutcliffe Park. 3 issues in the park this month. One was the kids are in the park and turning over the picnic tables and using foul language. And then there was another incident where there was some equipment problems down there over the weekend. Somebody going to the minor league and taking equipment, and supposedly, I don't know where it got with the president yet, but we're trying to figure out where, did they have permission to be in there? But I don't know, but the minor league field down there, I walk down there in the morning, and that door is probably open most of the time, and the light's on. So I don't know who pays for the electrician, the electrical down there, and I don't know who's supposed to lock up, but it's, you got to get that under control. But also, these things that happen in the park, they always happen when the weather's starting to break, going into spring, and then when the kids, and when it gets warm, they're going to start playing basketball down there, and it gets very intense down there. So myself, I think that maybe we have a policeman for traffic. We should have a park policeman during the summer months. In the spring months, it starts off around 5 p.m., and if he hangs around till 8, 9, the park's usually empty by then. But I think it's very important to have a police presence. I mean, he can go from each park, not just Sutcliffe, but I know Sutcliffe, there's a lot of things happen in the summertime. There's a lot of events. Sometimes there's 1,000 people in there, So I think we need to get this under control and show our residents that we mean business down there to stop some of the things that are going on down there. So I just want to let the chief, give him a heads up about that. Maybe we can think about that patrol guy. I know we have a bike patrol. Maybe we can get the bike patrol down there or whatever it takes. Thank you.
Welcome, Bob. Anita?
I really don't have anything, but I don't know if anyone noticed my little red dress. This month is Heart Month for women, so be aware and take care.
Jane?
We had a Marywood Park Commissioners meeting, and we are planning to have a centennial celebration on November 7th. It would be the 100th anniversary of Marywood donating, or not donating, her legacy in her will was the whole block that is now Marywood Park, the community center, and her home. So that'll be coming up in November.
I just wanted to let folks know that the agenda item that had to do with the National Fitness Campaign, if anyone is really interested in what the National Fitness Campaign is and who they target to give grants to, you can go online and look up National Fitness Campaign, and you'll see what they're looking for as far as a community and where to put that type of fitness equipment. I know that there was some conversations on where the community thought would be best to put it. There's some guidelines to that, so if anybody's interested, please jump on and take a look at that, and you'll see why we have thought that Haynes Silvati is probably the best place for that equipment.
And again, if people had come to the working meeting, they would know that. All that information is there, is discussed ahead of time. So, thank you. Ike?
I have nothing.
Karen?
I do not, thank you.
Chief Metz? No? Meeting adjourned. Thank you for coming.